What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about some of the things Life is Strange True Colors must do, in my opinion, to be good. So one more time, this is just my opinion. Don't take this the wrong way, and I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comments, but I wrote down a list. I have it off screen, or obviously you guys are just watching the gameplay, but I want to read through it, and hopefully they follow this, and hopefully we get an amazing game. I'm rooting for this game so much. I'm getting very, very excited, and we're just going to jump right into it. So the number one, and these, I guess these, by the way, are not in order. I'm just saying, like, number one, number two. They're not in order. They really are all kind of equal. But the first thing is powers. Focusing on the powers or making the powers good. This is tough. This is tough. I'm not going to say it's easy, because in Life is Strange, and we've said it before, arguably one of the weaker things with Life is Strange 1 was actually her powers. Not in terms of actually the first 4 episodes. I thought they were really awesome. I thought they opened up so many possibilities for what you can do. It was mainly the payoff. It was, and I get it. You can't give fans everything they want. You got to do your own thing. Like, they're the ones writing it. They probably thought of the ending and stuff long before, we ever saw the final product. But there were many, many fan theories going on, or many even fan ideas of how you use time travel that wasn't, included in the game, that I think disappointed people. Life is Strange 2, we're not going to talk about it besides one of the points in this video, but I mean, the force powers just didn't do it for me at all. It was more of like, you have to control your brother, which is, it was less about the powers, more about like teaching him the right way of using the powers. No. Okay, so for this one, obviously we have emotions. It's not the most wild thing. It's not the most, like, I don't know, like glossy or glittery or like in your face. Like, this isn't the biggest thing you can possibly do. However, like I've always said, I think there is a ton of possibilities here, because you're tapping into literally, and actually one of my points is the emotions of the game, but the power is literally reading emotions. So there's a ton of potential there to really get us to care about characters, get us to care about the main character, right? There really is, and I hope they do it right. Obviously, again, powers are one of the main things they really have to lean into, and it needs to be good. Second thing is characters. Lead character, obviously, and I do want to focus on that. Alex needs to be good. There's no doubt about it. Again, looking back to what we've experienced in the past games, like, the lead is really the first step of like the make or break of the game. I think if you poll people, Max is very much loved in the Life is Strange community. I don't think that's oversaid. I actually think it's said a lot, but I think you could even say it more. Max is just such, in my opinion, such an amazing character. I love that character so much. Hannah Tell did an amazing job as her, and we've never gotten anywhere near close to it. Now, we haven't had many tries at that, but we haven't even gotten close. So, you look at Sean and Daniel. To me, again, they just flat out didn't work, and that's the entry point. Those are the ones you're playing as, or obviously Sean in that case. But, for this one, I really hope Alex is good. But again, it's not just about her, the other characters. And I also want to throw in the setting, okay, of Haven Spring. Now, Arcadia Bay, as we've said numerous times, it literally was its own character. I think the location literally made it so special, and it's something that Life is Strange 2, if we're really critically looking at it, I think it's what it lacked majorly, because it was a brother on the run tale, which I understand, but you never could fall in love with a setting or even a set of characters, because they were always changing on you. There was very few that kept coming back, right? So I think that's, what Life is Strange 1 had to its advantage, and what 2 didn't, and even Before the Storm, you could argue. But for this game, again, obviously they're going back to, you're in this setting, you're going to be with these characters in the same location, and you're going to hopefully learn to love it, right? I think that's good. And that again goes to the rest of the characters. I mean, it's not just all about Alex as the main character, it's about everybody else. It's also about the setting. They need to nail that. They really, really need to nail that. Obviously Arcadia Bay became, I don't know, it became so powerful. It became the school, it became the students in the school, it became the diner, it became just the people living there, and it really became its own entity, right? Because of the choice at the end, sacrificing one person, but the person you love the most in the world of Chloe, versus this town, but it's not just a you know what I mean? It's not just a town. And I really, if there's any way of replicating that, I'd love to see them do it in this game. Number 3 is to make it emotional. Now, Life is Strange 1, I think, did this really, really well. There was always emotion going, and I think one of the things that helped the emotion going is that it was focusing on several different things, right? A lot of what we've talked about before is really kind of me just in my head simulating what I want of a good Life is Strange game, if you guys have noticed kind of the similarities there. Life is Strange 1 did like 5 or 6 different things, right? It was a murder mystery, it was a teen drama, it was a time travel thing, it was a lot of different, elements all in one. And yeah, again, did they nail every single one of them all the time? No, but it was trying a lot of different things, and I would say overwhelmingly it nailed quite a bit of it, including even like the when you don't want to be around anymore, that wording that I'm not going to use for YouTube. I mean, it did a lot of very powerful things. Now again, like to copy it, I don't want a Life is Strange 1 again. I would just play Life is Strange 1, or I'd play a new Life is Strange game with Max. But again, to capture that emotion, again, I mean, your main power is literally reading people's emotions or sensing them, so it shouldn't be that difficult to just have this game be radiating emotions to us. Now, that can get cheesy, that can get annoying, there could be characters that we don't care about, that we need, that they're trying to make us care about, or they're trying to give us their emotions. Like, there's ways of this going wrong very easily, very quickly, and I wouldn't even doubt that it happens, right? But on the flip side of things, I think there's a lot of avenues for a lot of powerful emotions in this game. And again, it's something that I think really, yes, it was like the themes that were the main kind of pinnacle of it in Life is Strange, which gave us the emotions. You could apply the same thing to this one as well. Okay, the next one is going to make people mad, so I guess turn away now if you love Life is Strange 2. But basically, my 4th point is simply do not be Life is Strange 2. Do absolutely nothing that Life is Strange 2 did. Now, if you didn't know, I don't like the game whatsoever. I actually covered Life is Strange 2 excessively, probably too much for some people, on the channel back when it came out. I was not looked at as a very nice person back then. People did not like me because of my anti-opinions of the game, in which everybody else at the time seemingly were just kissing at its feet. Now, I think through time, as time has moved on, I really think, in fact, there were everybody, and I'm not making this up, in comments of my videos and all that stuff, everybody was saying that 2 was better than 1. It was actually disgusting to see that, and I think as time has gone on, people have realized, not necessarily that they hate the game, but that Life is Strange 1 is a much, much, much better game that's aged really well, and Life is Strange 2 is not. And so that's just something I kind of wanted to clear the air. But again, in terms of the brothers, they didn't work. In terms of, I would say, and this is going to make people mad, force-feeding us the politics. Again, I'm not anti-putting politics in a game. I'm really not. But the way they handled it, completely one-sided. Basically, it was their version of America. I couldn't get behind it. I couldn't get behind it just basically because of that. It was literally punching us in the face with politics, and it was completely one-sided. If you're going to do something political, or you're going to try and show everything, and then let us decide for ourselves which one we support or which one we think is disgusting. Whatever emotion they're trying to get from us, that's fine. But I mean, show us the full picture. Don't show us just, small aspects of it. So that was a big negative. But even if you don't want to focus on the politics, like I said, I don't think jumping around locations works for a game like Life is Strange. I would also argue, and I made this point back then, I do think people agreed with this, I don't think Life is Strange 2 was actually a Life is Strange game. I think, again, like the force powers were not good enough powers. The brother dynamic. Remember when they made like the like the church and like that whole arc of just that villain? I think it was episode 4. I mean, it was just so weird. Like, they were trying to tell so many different random stories. The fifth episode was literally just about the wall and illegal immigration. I mean, literally every episode was something else. It's not a Life is Strange game. It was literally a Brother on the Run game, which is fine if they marketed it as that, but that's not what it was. You know what I mean? So basically, again, do nothing that Life is Strange 2 did, and I think you'd be completely fine. If you guys want to unsub for that, that's more than cool, but I'm going to keep moving on. Final thing is pacing. Now, I thought about this as, the last point that I wrote down, because one of the things I remember so vividly from Life is Strange was the pacing. There was never an episode, in my opinion, like, yes, there were episodes that were better than others, but there wasn't like a letdown episode. I mean, maybe you could say like the final episode with the final choice, but I remember just playing every episode episode, and specifically the ending was always really good. It was either cliffhangy-ish, or they just dropped a bomb on us where it was like, holy, like your jaw just dropped to the ground. Obviously, I think episode 2 is a good example of that, and episode 4 is a really good example of that, but pretty much every episode held you in, whereas again, you could even look at like Life is Strange 2. I was never held in, but if we're being a little bit more, accepting to the game, I don't think they did it nearly as well, right? So that's what I would hope that they do well here is, and now here's the deal. This is a full game. This is not episode 1. Now, I do believe they're technically episodes inside the game, but it is just a full game. Same thing, though. I mean, you can't have the first 5 hours be garbage, and then maybe it picks up at like hour 6. I'm never a fan of people saying, well, say like an open world game, well, it gets good around hour 25. Well, who in God's name has 25 hours to sink in before it starts? You know what I mean? Like, I never like that kind of argument for a game. There are some games that do that for sure, and there's some amazing games that pick up as the game goes on, but I think you want to be shooting for it starts off good as quickly as you possibly can get it. You know what I mean? So, if I was in the room, that's what I would do. Let's see what happens. Again, I'm gonna be fair to it. I'm obviously gonna be buying it, right, and be playing it. I cannot wait. I'm very, very excited for this, and we only have another week and a half to see. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. I've covered Life is Strange a ton over the last like 2, 3, 4 weeks, so there's plenty of videos if you guys want to check those out. And I'll also still be covering it, the next week and a half. I'll be playing the game, and we'll have videos right after as well, okay, as fast as I can get them up. So if you guys want to follow me on any of my other social media, I have a Twitter, I have a second YouTube channel, I also have Patreon and YouTube memberships. All the links for that are in the description below if you guys want to check it out, okay? Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all on the next video.